person who enters this industry has to understand this, that there are two kinds of outcomes which can actually come at the end of, let's say, 7 to 8 years that you work in email careers. One is you might end up into a flat outcome of earning, let's say, about 5 to 7 lakhs in years, and there can be an outcome that you have a premium status in the industry where you're working and you're earning probably more than 30 lakhs. Might also be a case where you might be working as a freelance in a career. So what would make you to enter or maybe have that kind of outcome is what we're trying to understand. Now, you might be, forced to, or you might be inclined to probably think that the outcome is basis on how you enter the industry, but that's not what the reality is. So I've shown you 3 career path strategies. If you see my screen, you clearly see I've created a standard path, I've created a smart path, and I've created a tech premium path, right? If you see at year 0, mostly everything is same, right? So if you see standard smart path, nobody's going to enter directly at transaction monitoring. If you get the opportunity, basically you're saving 2 years of your time. But most likely you would be starting either as a KYC analyst, or you might be joining as a KYC analyst at a bank, considering the amount of opportunities and the regulation which is forcing the banks and fintech companies and crypto exchanges to have an AML department in the first place. That's the reason why you're first of all getting these kind of opportunities. But what changes after that is, after year 2 is where what I'm proposing is that a person should make a smart move trying to get into more of a transaction monitoring or maybe a system analyst kind of a profile, right? So if you can see in the green and the orange path, there is a wide premiumization of the CTC that you're expecting. But if you end up in this standard path, you just enter as a KML analyst, right? And you're just expecting the industry to just grow. You might have growth. It's not that you might not have growth, but you would not be able to expect the premium growth that, usually our candidate is expecting in the first place, right? So to show you the actual outcome of this, right? So let me show you an actual CV of a person, and I don't want to show the name of the person, keep it private. And I don't blame the person also. Maybe it's the reason might be very personal, or maybe lack of understanding. But if you have the understanding, then, I would probably recommend you to take the right decision. So you can see here, the person starts pretty well, probably even does not even start in the correct company, starts with Sintel services, right? So nothing related to AML KYC at that moment. But then the person shifts into Wells Fargo, just like I showed you as the standard path in the smart path. The entry is to KYC, right? Fantastic. Now he does that 1 year and now moves to Wells Fargo, right? No, sorry. From Wells Fargo, he moves to State Street Corporation again. Now from State Street Corporation, that's where the mistake happened, because he again did the same work, which was of KYC onboarding. Now that's where the opportunity is missed. Now, if you move to, let's say, even before that, after that, the latest company that the person is actually working with, even there, the person is only doing basic KYC and EDD work, which is basically enhanced due diligence and CDD, which is customer due diligence, but nothing beyond that documentation. And that's the reason why the said profile has a CTC of somewhere around 8 to 9 lakhs. And that's about 7 years working in the industry. So that's a flat outcome that I was talking about at the start of the video, right? So now there are 3 worlds of AML that you should be aware of. World 1 is basic your KYC onboarding, basic documentation. The roles which include in this video are KYC analyst, CDD analyst. Basically, this is nothing but documentation of making sure that the customer which is coming on board to your client, we know the customer very well, and there is nothing which we already know that the person should not be a client. Maybe the person is illegally, or maybe the person is sanctioned under some global list. So we just need to know the person is legitimate, right? That's the only thing that is actually happening in World 1. When you look at World 2, now the client is already there. Now you're, monitoring the various transactions, and you're trying to find out if there are any suspicious transactions, which I can report to the higher authorities or, as an analyst, obviously in the management at the team level itself. Now, beyond that is World 3, which we're talking about sanction screening. That's where we're talking about a person who's doing a little premium job, wherein the person is not just trying to understand or probably just look at various transactions, but also is looking at analyzing the various sanctions which are being generated by various authorities, right? So that's how the 3 worlds look like. Now, let's move on to understand the various tracks of careers. Now, I've built various careers tracks, but the reason why I'm actually sharing this with you is so that you understand that when you enter this industry, you should also be aware that with the same skill sets, also there are slightly premium jobs available in the same profile. For example, you might be tempted to maybe think that, KYC analyst is something that I want to get into. But if you see, the same set of skill set is also used in the same profile of KYB analyst, right? Which pays almost double of KYC analyst, right? If you look at ED analyst, right? So if you look at from periodic review analyst, so this is the person who's actually just verifying on a periodic basis on what is exactly happening in terms of the risk ratings or whether any circumstances have changed. And then you've got the EDD analyst, which is basically enhanced due diligence. So basically, KYC analyst to ED is just like a slightly senior role in knowing your customer in the first place, right? Now, if you look at track B, now this is where we are in the world two. Right? So world two, transaction monitoring, wherein we are looking at B1 profile, which is the basic profile of transaction monitoring analyst. We are also looking at now slightly premium to that is the financial crime analyst, right? That CTC is obviously expected to be slightly higher. And the most premium out of there is AML investigator. So that's where we are looking at how a person can progress in world two from being a TM analyst to, let's say, a AML investigator. But you can't just stay at the transaction monitoring level. That would be a flat outcome, right? Now, the example of why I'm saying is because if, let's say, we talk about AML investigators for that matter, right? The reason why you can still earn a premium salary is because regulation is forcing, the various companies to pay heavy fines on not reporting the correct suspicious reports, or maybe the company having a weak suspicious reporting, or maybe not giving enough information. So the company directly gets the fine. And that's the example that I've shown you about TD Bank, which is fined about 1.3 billion for a weak suspicious activity monitoring, which means even if they were able to find out certain transactions like that, they did not report it correctly, right? So this is the reason why the field is actually growing very well. Now, these are other tracks. I will not get into the details of each and every tracks. You can read it at your own time. But what I want to actually get into now is these hidden premium specializations which people actually miss out. For example, crypto and digital asset AML. If you look at AML model validity, these are various premium jobs which require premium skills once you enter the industry. So you have to keep in mind that once you get inside the AML industry, there are such places also which are available. But of course, you got to do the hard work. You got to get the correct certifications. You got to be, meeting such people, and you got to be upskilling yourself to make sure that you get these, premium. And this list can be very different after maybe 1 year. We don't know. The way things change in technology, we know, but that's where the premium can be received by a candidate, right? Now, let's talk about lateral career moves. Now, the lateral career moves is when we are speaking about the fact that you can, go from email KYC ops into maybe financial crime, internal audit, right? Or maybe you go from bank side AML. So you're working with a bank, and now you moved into Big Four consulting, which is a good move actually, because you would get serious hike in salary, and then again move back to, let's say, the bank itself, which would probably offer you a position of, VP levels. Domestic level AML that we're talking about, the basic AML that actually happens with banks, that kind of AML regulations obviously does not pay as much as the MNCs like Big Fours would offer you, or maybe JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs. But once you get into Goldman Sachs, the idea should be again to get into the bank, because they would offer you that designation that you might not be able to get so fast, at least in the Big Four. So that's the whole idea about lateral career moves. Of course, you can read it. We've given you more details on that. It's very difficult to cover all of that tracks and moves in detail in one single video. Now, this is how a leadership track could work. So if, let's say, you were to shift from a bank-based AML department into, let's say, a MNC, and then shift into a bank. So maybe you start at compliance, so VP of compliance. So at that, the salary is pretty high, 20 to 40. Of course, this also means that you are, good with communication, you're good with leadership. You're the kind of person who has a correct attitude in the industry, could lead you into these N4-based career outcomes, right? Now, a slight slide on just understanding what these various names might confuse, because people don't tend to understand that KYC and CAD is basically the same job. It's just that different conventions and different companies might use different terminologies, right? For example, KYC and transaction monitoring analyst, the only difference between these two is the fact that one is just trying to understand who is the customer, and the TM guy is just trying to understand what are they doing, right? So we just build this basic slide so that it might be useful for you to understand what these roles mean, which you can refer at a later stage. So that was the video on talking about the various salary ranges and what you could do to have the optimum outcome at the end of your at the start of your career. And this is very important for you to know at the start of the career, not after 6 to 7 years. So I hope this video was helpful. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. You just put it in the comment box and I'll see you again. Bye.